Antivax mom cries and threatens to not pay for my college if I got vaccinated. So, to preface, I, 17F, am an incoming freshman in college. I'm going to a UC, won't say which for obvious reasons, but I got into the school's semi-competitive engineering program, and it was one of my top choices for college. I absolutely love the school. Unfortunately, the UC system just instituted a new rule that all students need to get a flu shot before they can attend. My mom, 50F, has been incredibly upset about this for the past 2 days. She called me up about an hour ago to talk about how I wanted to deal with the problem of having to get a flu shot. She was asking me to reconsider going to another college halfway across the country because they don't require flu shots. The school is not nearly as good in terms of engineering. It's a long way away, and it's expensive as hell for out-of-state students. I have zero desire to go there. I told her this wasn't the hill I wanted to die on. I don't think getting a flu shot is really that big of a deal, and I certainly don't want it to be the reason I end up going my top choice college. She got kind of angry with me and basically implied that she wouldn't pay for me to attend college if I got the shot. I would be completely on my own. Then she said, "Why don't you march your protester self?" I organized a BLM march in our city back in June, so she's referencing that. Down to City Hall. I'm sure you can find people who will protest with you. And I responded, I'm not sure I want to associate with those people, which I know was super mean and sounds awful to me in hindsight. She started crying and hung up on me after I said that. My mom and I seem to be at odds about everything right now. She was upset with me for organizing the BLM march. She doesn't like most of my political views, and she's even threatened to burn a book I was reading by Richard Dawkins about evolution because he advocated for cannibalism. And she seems to vaguely think evolution is a lie, despite not be religious so far as I can tell. I also had to get a series of vaccinations in 9th grade to attend my high school, which my dad took me to get, and which my mom is still extremely upset about almost 4 years later. I feel like this whole disaster is going to be the final straw, though. I just really need some advice on how to deal with this before she comes home from work and gets super mad and starts yelling at me. Edit. Okay, I just want to add, because people keep suggesting this, I can't exactly go behind her back here and get the shot on my own. Like, physically, yes, I can walk to Walgreens and get it, but being allowed to go to college equals got the flu shot. She will know, and therein lies the problem. Also, I know my mom sounds kind of bad on paper or on Reddit, but she really is a loving and caring person who is attempting to look out for me in her own way, so please stop with the name calling. I came here asking for help, not asking you to shit on my mom. It's just not helpful or productive. Thanks. Edit 2. Just want to let everyone know that I am reading every single one of your comments. I want to answer everyone's questions, but that might take a while, as I'm still working out how to deal with this situation with my dad. Thanks to the people who have been helpful, supportive, and encouraging with their advice. I'll update soon. Story 2. Boyfriend keeps trying to upgrade or improve me by calling me chubby. I've F23, been dating my boyfriend M27 for a year. I am 5'4" and 125 pounds. He pursued me. Slowly he keeps making more and more negative comments about my appearance. He made me a workout and eating plan and constantly asks if I follow it. He basically wants me to go vegan. Honestly, I'm not into the vegan lifestyle, and I don't eat horrible. When we ordered in yesterday, I got baked ziti. He looked at me and said, "How could I be ordering this when we both agreed I need to lose weight?" Every time I try to dump him over this, he tells me I don't understand where he is coming from. He told me I'm average, and he wants me to stand out. That he noticed I have low self-esteem, and he is trying to make me confident and be happy with myself. Every day he asks me if I did my workouts. He will send me photos of other girls and say if I follow what he says, I will look like that. He really pursued me, and now I feel like he's killing my self-esteem. Why pursue someone so hard if you aren't that attracted to them? He told me if I lose 15 pounds, I'll be perfect. He sends me pictures of women who have post-pregnancy bodies or not good bodies at all. And he tells me that they are like me, that they are chubby and not curvy. Or he will send me pictures of girls I don't consider pretty and say if I listen to him, I will look like that. I just need to lose weight. I tell him I think I'm thinner than those girls, and he tells me that he has better eyes. Honestly, at this point, I don't want to break up because I feel no one will find me attractive. I feel like I want his approval. I've been wearing baggy clothes because I'm so ashamed of my body, I used to like my body, but now I'm ashamed. Why is he dating me if I'm so unattractive? How do I gain my self-esteem back? Why pursue me? Edit. I would like to thank everyone for the overwhelming response. I can't get back to everyone, but I appreciate each and every message. Honestly, I didn't realize my situation was that bad. I am going to assume he had me under control. This really was reassuring, and I'm so happy I found this community and made this thread. I broke up with him over text message and explained to him how you talk and treat me is not how you talk to anyone, let alone your girlfriend, who you are supposed to love. That I hope he changes for the next girl he dates because he's a miserable person and no one deserves his abuse. I blocked his number. I'm sure he might try to show up at my house, but I just felt the need to end it as soon as possible. I think I'm going to take some time for myself since my self-esteem is still in the gutter, but thank you all. Story 3. My boyfriend spiked my 20th drink the other night. I'm full aware that I might be overreacting a little, but some outside opinions would help ease my mind either way. So my boyfriend and I, 21F, have been together for about 2 years now and currently share an apartment in our college town. I don't drink, I don't have a reason or anything, just never acquired a taste for alcohol. I'll take a sip of my boyfriend or a friend's drink just to try it every now and again, but I usually don't like it. I go to bars with friends and hang out with them all the time, and I'll usually just have a soda or a water and offer to drive if need be. My boyfriend was a little stressed the other day since he had to work during Black Friday, so he was tired when he came home. We were watching something on Netflix when he gets up and says he's going to make himself a drink. I offered to do it for him, but he just said, No, don't worry about it. I'll bring you a water. So he comes back with his drink and a flavored water for me, and when I sipped it, something tasted off about it. I only took a few more sips of it before I just put it on the coffee table and ignored it. He asked me why I wasn't drinking it, which was kind of a strange question to me. I told him it tasted a little off, and maybe I bought a bad case or something. He immediately seems to get frustrated and tells me to just drink it so it doesn't go to waste. Push came to shove, and turns out he put vodka in my water. When I asked him why he would do that without telling me, he said that it was a fantasy of his to have drunken sex with me, and it was getting ridiculous that I wouldn't get drunk so we could do that. He has never communicated this to me before. I had no idea. I dumped my drink out into the sink, and then he was angry at me for wasting alcohol. Now, I'm scared. He put something in my drink without my knowledge, and that scared me. I'm not sure what to do now. Edit. I'm realizing now that I am, in fact, underreacting. You guys are all right. I can't seem to stop thinking about this a few days after the fact, so that must mean something. I'm currently packing a bag before I head off to class in about an hour. I called a friend of mine and she is going to meet me on campus after my class, and I'm going to stay with her until I can figure out where I'm staying for the remainder of the semester. Thank you all for knocking some proper insight into me. I seriously appreciate it. Got out of class, currently with a trusted friend, and heading over to her place. I tried calling my boyfriend with no answer. I'll handle that later. But I'm feeling pretty apathetic about the whole situation right now. Though I'll admit that my friend got a good laugh out of me by saying, "You look like you need a fucking drink." It's the next day, and I'm logging in to find over 800 more comments and over 20 DMs. First of all the DMs have been super kind and I appreciate every single one of them. Seriously, thank you. Second of all, the comments here started to get a little controversial as to whether it was smart of me to leave or not. I mean, what's done is done, so it doesn't really matter now. Some people might disagree, but to me, a 2-year relationship is not very long, so I was no longer concerned about destroying a 2-year relationship. My friend and I went back to that apartment later last night because I decided I did want to talk to my now ex-boyfriend in person instead of over the phone. I know some people might not agree with me doing this, but again, what's done is done. I expressed why I left. I expressed that he lost my trust, and I did not accuse him of rape. My friend had no influence on this conversation. She remained silent the whole time. This is when he finally apologized. He followed it up by saying, "If you just have a drink like a normal adult," but he immediately took it back and apologized again. My name is not on the lease for the apartment, so I took the rest of my things, let him keep anything that was in the kitchen, and my friend and I left. There was no yelling, no harsh arguments, nothing, just a clean cutoff. I'll go back home to my parents this weekend to explain everything, and then I'll figure out where to live for the remainder of the school year. Thank you guys for giving me advice, and while I didn't respond to all of you, know that I do appreciate every opinion that was given here. As far as the status of whether this act will be reported or not, I have chosen not to share with the internet. Story 4. My 28F dog growled at my niece after she spent an entire evening harassing him. Now my brother, 31 Mead, wants me to put the dog down. Hi everyone. I have fostered a multitude of dogs in my life and dealt with a lot of behavioral problems. Dog aggression, cat aggression, food aggression, separation anxiety, super high prey drives. I've seen it all, and I've certainly encountered my fair share of dogs who weren't safe around small children. So I feel extremely confident in saying my current 5-year-old lab mix is safe for kids. He's basically a gigantic teddy bear and loves everyone. However, it's always been my personal philosophy that dogs, and any other animal really, should never be left alone with young kids, even if it's the sweetest, most mild-mannered dog in the world. The kids don't understand when they're pushing the dog past its limits, and the dog cannot reasonably be expected to put up with being harassed long after it's signaled that it would like to be left alone. My niece has never been good with my dog. She pulls his tail, climbs on, lays on him, hits him, pulls his ears, gets in his face, and yells at him, and never gives him a second to himself unless she's forced to. He is basically a saint with her, but every dog has its limits. I stay as on top of this behavior as I can, forcing her to leave him alone when it starts to seem like too much, and locking him away in a bedroom if she won't. My brother and Sile, 30F, really just don't get it though. I've tried to talk to them about this behavior a bunch of times, and they know it's wrong, but they think it's wrong in the same way that her refusing to share or not picking up her toys is wrong. They don't understand that it's dangerous, and that if she was left alone long enough, my dog might lose it and attack her. This has been going on for over a year. I've tried to have this conversation with my brother over and over, but he always acts like I'm criticizing his parenting, which is not the case. I don't think my niece is especially bratty or out of control for a kid that age. It's just that this behavior is dangerous to both her and my dog, and it needs constant intervention. The same way that a small kid playing with the stove isn't especially bratty, it's just especially dangerous and needs to be curbed ASAP. I even tried having a dog trainer friend explain this to him, and he still didn't get it. I've tried to come up with excuses for why we can never meet at my house for our family hangouts, but I couldn't think of one the other day, and my brother and niece came over. I was cooking dinner and not paying enough attention to make sure my dog was okay, which was absolutely my fault, and I accept responsibility. I asked my brother a few times to keep her away from my dog, but he kept saying she was fine. I did move my niece away from him a few times, but I wasn't vigilant enough, and my dog ended up getting to the end of his rope and growling at my niece. I immediately grabbed my dog and brought him into my bedroom. I did not punish him at all. Frankly, I'm glad that he signaled loud and clear that he was uncomfortable. I would never want to discourage him from doing that, because then next time, he'd skip the growling and go straight to attacking. I came out of the room, ready to talk to my brother about how this is what I've been talking about. But he was furious, yelled that my dog is a menace who should be put down, and left. I completely understood his reaction. That's his daughter, and he was afraid for her, and nothing else mattered to him. But he hasn't calmed down at all since this happened, and won't talk to me except to say my dog needs to be put down, and he won't be speaking to me until it's done. He's also tried to involve our parents, who said they will absolutely not be getting involved. They know my niece's behavior with my dog has been a problem in the past. I have not heard from my Sael at all, which makes me think she might agree with me. Knowing her personality type, I don't really think she'd sit out a fight like this if she thought my dog was dangerous. The way I see it, this is solely my fault and my brother's fault. I shouldn't have allowed my niece to harass my dog. I knew what could happen, and I was more concerned about how upset my brother got when I tried to bring it up than I was about my niece's safety. I should have just said my niece wasn't allowed around my dog until she got a bit older and dealt with whatever fallout there was within my family. Similarly, my brother should have kept a better eye on his kid and not been so defensive when I tried to explain the problem. My dog, on the other hand, put up with being harassed for over a year and when he was finally pushed to his limits, signaled very loudly and harmlessly that he needed to be removed from the situation. He is not dangerous, and I will not put him down. My brother is now saying that the entire family has sided with a dog over his child, which is not the case. It's just that there are lots of other solutions to this problem. I am perfectly happy to crate my dog when they come over, or leave him in another room, or just never have them over again and hang out somewhere else. There's no reason for my niece to ever see my dog again, and I'd be happy to talk over a solution with him. It's just that he won't talk to me at all, and I don't know what to do. Should I give him more time to cool off? Should I go over to his house and try to talk? I don't want to ruin this relationship. We are very close, but I'm just not putting my dog down over this.